Namaskar, good evening. You are watching Rajya Sabha television. I am Smriti Rastogi with Midday News. Let's begin the bulletin with the top headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to convene a meeting of 12 senior ministers today. Meet to discuss priorities of the new government. Economy tops agenda, focus also on jobs and agriculture sector. India's growth to stay unchanged at 7.5% for fiscal 2019-20, forecasts World Bank's Global Economic Prospects report. Mentions growth rate expected to remain same for next two fiscals. Also wants global growth to slow down in 2019. In cricket, men in blue to take on South Africa in Southampton as Team India begins their World Cup campaign today. Sri Lanka beats Afghanistan by 34 runs by Duckworth-Lewis method after rain interrupts play on Tuesday. Eid-ul-Fitr being celebrated across India and around the world today. Day marks the end of the holy month of Ramadan. President Kovind, Vice President Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi greets people on the occasion, says festival symbolizes peace and brotherhood. And with Beat Air Pollution being this year's theme on World Environment Day, countries led by China call for action to combat global crisis. Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar calls environment protection a people's movement, urges people to contribute in saving the planet. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will today hold a meeting of 12 senior ministers to discuss the priorities of the new government. According to the report, economic priorities will be on the top of the agenda for the new government. Discussion on job and agriculture sector is also likely to take place. The schedule for assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir will be announced after the Amarnath Yatra. This was announced by the Election Commission on Tuesday, making it clear that the elections in the state could be held sometime later this year. The poll panel said the dates for the elections will be announced after the Amarnath Yatra that starts on 1st July and concludes on 15th of August. Jammu and Kashmir is under the president's rule since PDP-BJP coalition government fell apart in June 2018. And terrorists shot dead a woman and injured a man today in Pulwama district of Jammu and Kashmir. Police said that terrorists fired upon a man and a woman at Singur Narbal in Pulwama district. While the lady succumbed to the injuries, the injured man has been rushed to the hospital. And some more developments. Over 300 people are under medical observation in Kerala after one case of Nipah virus was confirmed in the state. Kerala government on Tuesday confirmed that a 23-year-old college student infected with the Nipah virus is undergoing treatment at a private hospital in Kochi and his condition remains stable. The state government has also urged people not to panic and take precautionary measures to prevent the spread of the disease. Meanwhile, Health Minister Harshvardhan has also assured help to the state to contain the spread of the virus. The government has also sent a team of 6 senior government health officials to Kerala to monitor the situation. Nipah virus is transmitted from animals to humans and then spreads through people-to-people contact. 18 Nipah cases were reported in Kerala last year, out of which 17 patients had died. And today is the World Environment Day. Since its inception in 1974, the day is celebrated every year and is organized around a theme in order to draw attention towards pressing environmental issues. Be it air pollution, the theme for this year is a call for action to combat the global crisis and has been chosen by this year's host, China. In a message, the UN Secretary General described air pollution as an existential threat.
World Environment Day highlights how much we all rely on nature and on our planet's health. The quality of the water we drink, the food we eat, and the air we breathe all depend on protecting the natural world. But the environment is facing unprecedented perils caused by human activity. 1 million species are at risk of extinction. Oceans are under stress. Air pollution is claiming 7 million lives every year and damaging children's development. Many air pollutants also cause global warming. And climate change is an existential threat. There is no time to lose. This is the battle of our lives. We must win, and we can. Solutions exist. Tax pollution, not people. Stop subsidizing fossil fuels. Stop building new coal plants. People everywhere are demanding action. On World Environment Day, let us heed their call.
And on the occasion, President Ramnath Kovind reaffirmed the commitment to a cleaner and sustainable planet and said that living in harmony with nature is a part of the Indian ethos. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu appealed to people to take a firm pledge to protect nature and environment by saving energy, water, planting saplings and reducing dependence on fossil fuels by adopting renewables. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi in a tweet said, "Living in harmony with nature will lead to a better future." He also reiterated commitment to ensure a cleaner planet. And calling for active public participation on a World Environment Day celebrations, Union Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar on Tuesday launched a campaign urging people to plant a sapling.
विश्व पर्यावरण दिवस पर पेड़ लगाने की मुहिम करते हैं। अनेक राज्यों ने ये देखा है कि 5 जून को भारत में गर्मी ज़्यादा होती है तो थोड़ा आगे पीछे करते हैं। कुछ लोग जुलाई के पहले सप्ताह में लगाते हैं, ये भी ठीक है। लेकिन मैं स्वागत करूंगा नितिन गडकरी जी के घोषणा का कि जो हज़ारों किलोमीटर के हाईवे उनके नेतृत्व में मोदी जी के मार्गदर्शन में बने हैं, उन सभी हाईवेज के दोनों तरफ 125 करोड़ पेड़ लगाने का उन्होंने ये किया है, एक निर्णय किया है। और गडकरी जी जैसा निर्णय करते हैं वैसा अमल में भी लाते हैं। और इसलिए भारत में हर एक आदमी को समझना चाहिए कि उसको ज़िंदगी भर जितना ऑक्सीजन लगता है उतना ऑक्सीजन मिलने के लिए 8-10 पेड़ तो उसको लगाने बनते हैं। और केवल पेड़ लगाकर नहीं चलता, उसको और आगे बढ़ाने की जिम्मेवारी भी लेनी चाहिए। हम एक नया कार्यक्रम स्कूल नर्सरी शुरू करेंगे। स्कूल नर्सरी में स्कूल के बच्चे फॉरेस्ट विभाग के, वन विभाग के सहयोग से बीज रोपण करना सीखेंगे। पौधा आएगा, उसको सैपलिंग को ढंग से 1 साल बढ़ाएंगे और अपने एनुअल एग्जाम के साथ एक ट्रॉफी के रूप में घर ले जाएंगे।
And ahead of the World Yoga Day on 21st of June, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has urged people to make yoga an integral part of their lives this year for Yoga Day celebrations. The government has shortlisted Delhi, Shimla, Mysore, Ahmedabad and Ranchi to hold national programs. And the Prime Minister also today posted a short video of him practicing Trikonasana on social media. Take a look.
अब अपने पैरों को परस्पर आरामदायक दूरी पर रखकर खड़े हो जाएं। धीरे धीरे अपने हाथों को ऊपर उठाएं। ताकि वो आपके दोनों कंधों की सीध में आ जाए। सुनिश्चित करें कि हाथ एकदम सीधे और एक स्तर पर हो, ऊपर नीचे या आगे पीछे नहीं। अपने बाएं पैर के पंजे को सीधा रखते हुए अपने दाहिने पैर के पंजे को 90 डिग्री घुमाएं। अब एक लंबी गहरी सांस लें और फिर धीरे धीरे सांस छोड़ते हुए अपने शरीर को दाहिनी ओर कमर से झुकाएं। दाहिने हाथ से अपनी दाहिनी एड़ी को छूने का प्रयास करें और अपने बाएं हाथ को ऊपर आसमान की ओर उठा लें। हो सकता है आप में से कुछ अपने हाथ को अपनी एड़ी तक ना पहुंचा पा रहे हों, तो ऐसे में अपने हाथ को वहीं तक ले जाइए जहां तक आपका हाथ बिना किसी तनाव के पहुंच सके। इस स्थिति में कुछ देर आराम से रहें। सामान्य रूप से सांस लें और छोड़ें। पूरे शरीर में आराम को अनुभव करें। अब धीरे धीरे सांस अंदर लेते हुए वापस ऊपर की ओर आइए और अपने दाहिने पैर को सीधे कर लीजिए। अब अपने बाएं पैर के पंजे को घुमाएं और दोबारा यही आसन अपनी बाईं तरफ से दोहराएं।
And a day after the SP and the BSP decided to contest the Uttar Pradesh by-polls alone, the Rashtriya Lok Dal today announced it will go solo in the upcoming by-polls. The Ajit Singh-led RLT was the third alliance partners, along with SP, BSP in the Grand Alliance formed ahead of the Lok Sabha polls. On Tuesday, Mayawati-led BSP had pulled out of its alliance with Samajwadi Party, announcing that the BSP will contest the by-polls in Uttar Pradesh alone, but had not ruled out reuniting with the Samajwadi Party again in the future. 11 assembly by-polls are due in Uttar Pradesh after the respective MLAs won the Lok Sabha polls. The World Bank has retained its forecast of India's growth rate at 7.5% for the current financial year. In its latest Global Economic Prospects report, the World Bank also said growth rate is expected to remain the same for the next 2 fiscals. According to the report, private consumption and investment will benefit from strengthening credit growth amid more accommodative monetary policy, with inflation having fallen below the Reserve Bank of India's target. The bank said investment rate in India was expected to grow at a slower pace in 2019 than in 2018. It, however, said investment growth was expected to remain robust as benefits of recent policy reforms further materialized. India still is the fastest growing economy, asserts the World Bank, and says that it retains the growth forecast for Indian economy at 7.5% for fiscal 2019-2020 in its Global Economic Prospects report. It also wants global growth to slow down in 2019. World Bank retains the growth forecast for Indian economy at 7.5%. And ISRO satellites have been deployed along the naval P-8I maritime surveillance aircraft to relocate the wreckage of the missing AN-32 aircraft. As part of a massive search operation, a long-range maritime reconnaissance aircraft of the Indian Navy was also deployed to trace the missing aircraft. Already a fleet of fixed-wing aircraft and choppers have been deployed to locate the aircraft in the mountainous terrain in and around Menchuka. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has been apprised of the situation by the Indian Air Force. The Russian-origin transport aircraft with 13 people on board went missing Monday afternoon, around 33 minutes after taking off from Jorhat in Assam for Menchuka near the border with China.
Today, the P-8I aircraft of the Navy also joined in the search operation. Indian Army personnel, they are doing the ground search and also joined in with the ALH helicopter. Indian Navy, I mentioned, joined in with P-8I. The local police and the civil administration are helping the Indian Air Force in all ways possible to locate the missing aircraft. So it's a difficult operation. However, we are using all our means, the electronic means, the electro-optical means, और इसको analyze करके उसके बाद हम we are going to do the visual lookout. The next, the ISRO satellites are also being used for mapping this, photographing this area, and which will be analyzed and which will be used for our further search operation. The next of kin of all the missing personnel, I've been informed about the search effort put in by the Indian Air Force and all allied government and civil agencies. We are in constant touch with them.
And with that, we'll slip into a very quick break. More news and updates on the other side. Stay with us.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Delhi for centuries has nurtured many kingdoms and rulers. These kingdoms have left us several significant monuments with an incredible history to tell. Among these monuments is one which is in the midst of posh bungalows in Hauz Khas area, the Chor Minar. Built under the rule of Alauddin Khilji, telling a statement of his rule, is believed to have stood out as a deterrent for thieves and thugs who attempted to venture in his kingdom. Built in 13th century, the pillar is made of rubble masonry and stands at the center of a platform. Each of the four sides of the platform has three arched recesses with a doorway on one side leading to a spiral staircase. The pillar, also believed to be known as the Tower of Thieves, was used to display the severed heads of the thieves and thugs through its 225 holes.
Welcome back. The Indian Space Research Organization has found a suitable window to launch India's second spacecraft to the moon, Chandrayaan-2, between July 9th and July 16th, with an expected soft landing on the moon on 6th of September. ISRO sources have confirmed the GSLV Mark III will launch Chandrayaan-2 from Sriharikota during the favored window time. ISRO has said that all three modules of the moon mission, Orbiter, Lander Vikram and Rover Pragyan, are ready. The modules underwent tests in the ISRO Satellite Integration and Test Establishment Campus in Bengaluru and are ready to be shifted to Sriharikota Spaceport of ISRO. The National Testing Agency is set to release NEET result 2019 today. National Eligibility cum Entrance Test 2019 result will be available on NTA's official website ntaneet.nic.in. NTA NEET 2019 result will also be available on mcc.nic.in. This year, over 1.4 million candidates appeared for a NEET medical examination. The exam was scheduled on May 5th and was conducted for a few centres in Karnataka and Odisha on 20th of May. Weather news now. Large swaths of the country remained under the grip of the relentless heat wave on Tuesday, with Churu in Rajasthan recording a high of 48 degrees Celsius. Though rains did bring some respite to people in few areas. IMD said heat wave conditions in many parts and severe heat wave conditions in isolated pockets are very likely over Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Vidarbha in Maharashtra today. Met Department has warned of heatwave conditions in isolated pockets over South Haryana, Marathwada and Telangana. It also said there will be no large change in maximum temperatures over the next 2 days. In Delhi, the temperature touched a high of 41.5 degrees Celsius on Tuesday. Meanwhile, light rains were experienced in parts of Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh and Gujarat. In an unprecedented voluntary move, Pakistan's military has decided to cut the defense budget for the next fiscal year amid an austerity drive launched by the government to solve the cash-strapped nation's economic woes. Taking to microblogging site Twitter, the DG of Inter-Services Public Relations, Major General Asif Ghafoor, announced the move. He, however, said that a voluntary cut in defense budget for a year will not be at the cost of the defense and security, adding that it was important to participate in development of the tribal areas and Balochistan. Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan said on Tuesday that he was very appreciative of the Pakistani military's unprecedented voluntary initiative of stringent cuts in their defense expenditures, especially in light of the country's poor financial situation. And news now from the ICC Cricket World Cup 2019. Team India will begin its World Cup campaign against South Africa at Southampton today. Even as India will be looking to begin its World Cup campaign with a win today, South Africa will also be looking at a much-needed win after having lost both their previous encounters to England and Bangladesh. The Proteas also suffered a huge blow to their World Cup hopes on Tuesday after their most experienced pace bowler, Dale Steyn, was ruled out of the entire tournament due to a shoulder injury. Indian captain Virat Kohli, however, has called the South African side dangerous despite the setbacks.
Firstly, we're very happy that finally we're going to start playing. It's been a while since we've been here. A very talented, very dangerous side on their day, and even with the replacements, they would be a very strong side. So we never take anyone lightly, and whether a few key players get injured or not, if a youngster is stepping in and he has the right mindset, he can really perform on the day. So I think we need to maintain respect for that and really approach the game focusing on our strengths and what we can do as a side.
Meanwhile, Sri Lanka registered its first win, beating Afghanistan by 34 runs at Cardiff in a match interrupted by rain on Tuesday. Batting first, Sri Lanka set a 202-run victory target for Afghanistan. But the match was curtailed to 41 overs per side after rain interrupted play when 33 overs were bowled. Chasing a revised target of 187 runs, Afghanistan made 152. Afghanistan has 2 defeats from 2 matches after a loss to Australia on Saturday. And in the French Open tennis tournament, Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal progressed to the semi-finals of the French Open as the ace players registered victories in their respective 4th-round matches. World number 2 Rafael Nadal defeated Kei Nishikori 6-1, 6-3, 6-3, while Roger Federer outclassed Stan Wawrinka 7-6, 4-6, 7-6, 6-4. Nadal is through to his 31st Grand Slam semi-final, becoming the 4th Open-era player to achieve the feat after Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic and Jimmy Connors. In women's singles, Johanna Konta's moved to the semi-finals, beating last year's runner-up Sloane Stephens 6-1, 6-4 in the quarters to become the first British woman since 1983 to reach the semi-finals. Eid ul-Fitr, which marks the culmination of the holy month of Ramzan, is being celebrated across the country today. People, especially children, dress up in their traditional fineries to mark the festival. In the national capital, main Eid congregations are held at Jama Masjid, Fatehpur Masjid and Eidgah. Elaborate security arrangements have been made on the occasion. President Ramnath Kovind greeted people on the occasion. In his message, President Kovind has said that marking the culmination of the holy month of Ramzan, this festival strengthens our belief in charity, fraternity and compassion. He said, on this day, we should rededicate ourselves to these eternal values that characterize our civilization. In a message, the Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has said that the essence of the festival lies in the sharing of love and joy with each other. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also greeted people on the occasion. And that's all we have for you in this edition of Midday News. But before we go, we leave you with Eid celebrations. Thank you for watching.
Sabha